what I remember, Ron, was that you got this Fortran code from Maryland.
That's right, from the military.
No,
from
it came
Schenck.
from, didn't it come from Schenck? That was the
Schenck.
undersea
Research Center. Could have been
Naval
Miami or
Undersea
something.
Warfare Center
And
or
the
something.
thing is, and you didn't know how to use it very well. So I remember you started writing your own code for the mesh or something. And then as you were writing that code, you became more aware of what their more general things were doing, and you ended up using it.
Using their code, yeah.
Well, there were other approaches that refined it a bit and handled singularities, internal singularities.
That was
That's
Chief, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chief was the name of the program.
Combined
That-
Helmholtz
integral equation formulation.
Interior, exterior.
That's right, and
formulation.
so it was about stabilizing the numerical instabilities in the computation by overdetermining the problem with the exterior problem with the interior.
Oh, by putting extra
Formulation.
points in the...
That's right, inside the interior for the null field solution.
Yes, and making sure that they contributed zero.
Yeah.
Now that whole integral formulation is, I think, a really good way to teach acoustics. One of you, I think it was Stan, mentioned about this modeling for scattering in 3D. And so I saw it as an occasion for doing more modeling and for learning modeling and then getting the masters at the same time. And that's actually where I continued then, was from the scalar equation for acoustics going to the vector and tensor equations for seismic waves. And
Was it during your project, Ron, that we made these measurements of these loudspeaker cabinets with the accelerometer at all these places?
I think we did those, but they didn't feature in the work ultimately. But yeah, we were measuring the vibrating sides because that's part of the Helmholtz integral equation, is the normal velocity on the sides.
Yes.
And I remember once suggesting, well, why don't we forget about the dipole terms and just see what the Rayleigh terms do? And it turns out that they give a fairly good result. And you know,
That's right. That's like the Kirchhoff approximation.
Yeah, so because a lot of people just do just that.
Yes.
They measure a cabinet and they put the Rayleigh terms in, and I was surprised at how good it was. And
Yeah.
we did some measurements, and we found out that from Floyd's psychoacoustic things, we shouldn't really be able to hear the cabinet very well. But I've been told that I'm dead wrong by many people in the loudspeaker industry.
Well, many people
bad
say many
cabinets.
things, but it doesn't mean that it's strictly true.
That's true, but
Everybody has an opinion.
yeah.
But I think one very good thing I got from you, Stan, was the revising of the thesis and the learning how to write. So I think there's a message out here on the wall, some advertisements saying, "So you think you can write?" Somebody's looking for editorial services, and that's how I came to the group. I thought I could write, but I realized very quickly that I couldn't. And Stan took the very patient time to correct and revise and correct and revise. And then when I thought it was all finished, there was still a whole new set of revisions that started again. And
Well,
really,
you have to chop it off at some point.
that's right. That's right. But it was always a very productive, constructive, and a lasting result, I think, in the work that I did everywhere else. That was really very valuable. So between the analysis on the modeling side, the mathematical analysis, the existence and uniqueness theorems in the mathematics for the stabilizing the numerical computations, and the writing, that was really a good
Anyway, Ron,
combination.
I found it very interesting that my acoustic center work dovetails so nicely with that stuff you did on diffraction, that the edge theory of diffraction. What was it called? I forget. But
Well, that was a nice progression. So you go from the integral equation to the Kirchhoff approximation
To a one-dimensional problem.
to the Rubinowitz edge integral, and that's the edge diffraction.
and then you had the average radius, and
then-
then of course in a piston, then you've got the mean average radius, and
That's right.
You know, because you had an average of an average, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it was really neat. I thought.